TNT is not just a dot on the map. To America and China, we're just real estate. And the chess game around us could shape our future. On the surface, Trinidad and Tobago looks like a small island nation with a big cultural influence. But beneath the calm blue green waters is a powerful struggle far larger than our borders. From Washington to Beijing, the world's biggest superpowers are quietly positioning themselves, and the Caribbean, especially TNT, has become a strategic chessboard in the global rivalry. Today, we are diving into a geopolitical tug of war shaping our region. Why is the US states reinforcing its presence? Why is China investing so heavily in our infrastructure? And where does Trinidad and Tobago stand as these two giants push for influence? This isn't just foreign policy. This affects our economy, our national security, and our future. Let's start with the board itself. The Caribbean sits on one of the most important maritime corridors in the world. Trade, energy routes, security pathways, and proximity to Venezuela's oil and instability. This makes TNT more than just a friendly neighbor. It makes us strategically valuable. On one side, we have the United States, the long-standing security partner, intelligence collaborator, and regional watchdog. Their interests containing illegal trafficking, monitoring Venezuela, protecting maritime borders, and maintaining dominance in the Western Hemisphere. That's why you see US naval visits, joint training exercises, increasing diplomatic engagement, and growing focus on energy cooperation. On the other side, we have China, a rising global power playing a long game with loans, construction projects, technology, and trade. Their influence shows up in infrastructure investments, business expansions, port development, and diplomatic visibility across the Caribbean. And look, China not just liming in the background, eh? Remember that. To China, the Caribbean is gateway economically, politically, and symbolically, a sign that their footprints reaches right into the US backyard. And I want to say US neighborhood.
All pleased to see that our bilateral trade has exceeded $1 billion for 4 consecutive years, ranking among the highest in the Caribbean region.
He presented his credentials to President Christine Kangaloo earlier this month, September 2nd to be exact, but China's newest ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, Ren Hongyan, delivered a speech that showed the continuing strengthened ties between China and Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking at an event held to commemorate the 76th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China on Friday evening, Ambassador Hongyan said trade is also quickly being driven by major infrastructure projects.
The flagship Belt and Road Cooperating Project, the Phoenix Park Industrial Estate, is expanding steadily, and will further leverage the advantages of the special economic zone to inject new momentum into Trinidad and Tobago economic growth. The Forensic Science Center project has completed the tendering process and will soon commence construction.
Acting Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dr. Kenby Swarat-Singh reaffirmed Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to the partnership, noting a recent agreement that will fund new development projects across the country.
In fact, only earlier this week, our two governments entered into an agreement on economic and technical cooperation, through which the government of the People's Republic of China generously donated an aid grant worth 100 million RMB, equivalent of 94 million TT. And through this grant, Trinidad and Tobago will be able to implement some of its new projects which will impact positively the citizens of our country.
And the ambassador said China remains committed to expand cooperation with Trinidad and Tobago across multiple sectors.
China stands ready to work with Trinidad and Tobago to expand cooperation in trade, culture, ecology, security, renewable energy, artificial intelligence, and many other areas, so as to bring greater benefits to our peoples and build an even closer China-Trinidad and Tobago community with a shared future. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, today also marks the 5th week since my arrival in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm growing even fonder of this beautiful country.
In 2024, China and Trinidad and Tobago celebrated its 50th year of diplomatic relations.
And Trinidad and Tobago, we are standing in the middle, balancing relationships with two global titans. Our energy resources, maritime location, and relative stability gives us leverage, but also pressure. Every partnership, every deal, every diplomatic move carries weight. T&T must navigate carefully, maintaining sovereignty, protecting our interests, and avoiding dependency on any single major power. This is more than any politics, this is strategy. Superpowers don't fight wars the same way they used to. Just remember that, people. Today, they use influence, investments, alliances, and information. And the Caribbean has become a front line in that quiet competition. Yep. For Trinidad and Tobago, the challenge is simple, very simple. Safe, stable, and globally respected as rivalry around us grows. These are the questions our leaders must consider, and the discussion as citizens must pay attention to, because when giants move, small nations feel the tremor. Thank you for watching, and always let's keep the conversation informed, respectful, and focus on facts. Okay? So see you guys next time. And if God be for you, who could be against you?